What's up, guys? I got some Draftkings Week 12 talking cash GPP. Let's get right into it. Quarterback this week. Eh, I mean, obviously Tom Brady, Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, and then Drew Brees is top four. If I'm gonna pay up, obviously, you can't go wrong with Brady, but my guy's Russell. Russell this year has been outstanding. Um, Obviously, like, discredit that 9, and is his ceiling's probably around 35, 40 points, and that's not even a stretch. Like, he's probably going to get that. I mean, they don't do anything else but give the ball to Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson just delivers every single week. It's clear right here. Um, Matchup is good. Um, the 49ers, that's going to be a better game than people think. I mean, obviously, the game script is Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson if they're up 20 or if they're down 20. So, regardless, Russell Wilson is solid. I'm going to have him in a lot of options in cash and GPP because you feel people are going to spend down this week. Who else do I like? I mean, Matt Ryan's pretty interesting, just because of that matchup. I mean, he hasn't really been kind of sexy this year, but like, he even dropped down 5-8. That's crazy. Well, that was against the Seahawks, but Ryan has a good matchup this week. You could stack him with Julio and a lot. I like Julio this week. I'll get to him later. GPP, Tyrod, even cash. Tyrod has a good matchup. Kansas City hasn't been playing that good. I mean, that game is at Arrowhead, so you never know, but Tyrod's pretty good this week. I think he'll do all right. Brissett, obviously everyone's talking about him this week, but he does play good at home. He likes playing in the dome. Ty plays better at home. Doyle plays better at home. So, yeah. And it's interesting, I'll talk about receivers later, but Moncrief at 3,000. I mean, no one's really talking about him. I don't think he'll do good, but in a couple of tournaments, I will throw him out there and stack with Brissett just because. Tennessee does good. They take away your number one option. Moncrief lit them up last time they played, so that's interesting. Let's see. As you get down here, I mean, Matt Moore and your Kenny Stills, that connection is deadly. Might be the best in the NFL, or best in Week 12. We'll talk about Kenny Stills, but yeah, those guys I talked about, I kind of like this week. If you go back to the top, I forgot. Look for Cam off a bye. I mean, as Cam is rushing, always is an option. But in my lineups, I'll throw Russell in there. Now, running back. Obviously, Todd Gurley, 8,800. He's like dumb expensive, but if you're going with like your Brissett's or your whatever, if you're going that route, I mean, you could squeeze Gurley in there. I like paying up this week for running back, just because Ingram will have a good game. I don't really like McCoy this week. I don't know, like, I just feel like it's not a McCoy week. I don't really have like stats to back that up, but just go with like your gut feeling on that one. A lot of people like McCoy. I'm not a fan this week. Who I am a fan of is Kareem Hunt, and it's kind of like a weekly theme with this guy. Like, every single week, you think that Kareem Hunt is just gonna do what he did in the beginning of the year. You see that 49, that 25, that 28, and he hasn't. I mean, he's been kind of disappointing lately. He's still ranked high. He's still priced high, but the volume's still there. I mean, Andy Reid kind of played good against out of bye weeks, and they kind of like shit the bed against the Giants. It's like I was expecting him to have a bounce back week, and he never did. But he kind of got like game scripted out of that. I mean, As you see, he did have the 3 catches on the 4 targets. He's been around that the whole year, the target to there. The 18, kind of want him around 20. It's like when they're doing good, they hand the ball off. So I think they get back to that. The matchup is phenomenal. I like Kareem. I'm definitely locking Kareem in there this week. And other people I like, Kamara. He's a savage. Clearly, I don't even have to talk much about Kamara. He's got a good matchup. 7 TDs this year. That's retarded. He's gonna do good. I like McCaffrey. Off a bye, McCaffrey. I feel like they're gonna get him a lot of new ways to touch the ball and that we haven't even seen yet. And McCaffrey's been pretty solid all year. I think at that price he's a good option. Tevin. Freeman's out. Tevin is gonna get the workload. He's got a good matchup. They'll probably be up. He's gonna see the rock at least 25 touches, I think, in this game. And that's anytime you're getting like 20 to 25 touches at 6K, you probably want to jump on that. As you see there, Freeman's out. I like Hyde at 5K. I think that, don't get scared off on this matchup too much. Seattle, they are not as good as they look on paper. You see Seattle and you almost get scared to play Hyde. I wouldn't. And not at this price. You see what Hyde's done all year. You see the 20, 24, 14, 13, 24, 12, 21, 12. Those 2 games, he had 2. And 8 against Philly. Kind of got scripted out of that Philly game. But yeah, I definitely like Hyde this week. I'm going to put him in my lineups. But to talk about more running backs, let's see. Scroll down. I'll give you some shots in the dark here. We're going down. Everyone's talking about him. Rex Burkhead shit the bed last week. People are going to be scared off of him. I think if you liked him last week, you should like him this week. There's no reason why you shouldn't play him. He'll be in a couple of my lineups. Scroll down to 3,007. You could save a lot of freaking money with these guys. McKissick, especially if you're playing Russell Wilson, or why not stack him? That's kind of like a fuck it. He saves you a lot of money in cash. I like McKissick more on PPP, GPP, other than as well as cash. But I'll get to who I like more in cash. But yeah, McKissick's getting into the volume as of late. They might be up in this game. They could run. They throw it to him. He's their most explosive player by far in the running back position. And under him right here, I like a little bit more at cash. Devontae Booker. If you watch them and watch him play, he looks better than CJ Anderson. He looks better than Jamal Charles, and that's a little crazy to say, but he just does look better than them. I think they're figuring that out a little bit. You see the 14 attempts last week and the 5 catches. That's value at this price range. He'll be in my lineups. Other than that, I don't like the running back too much this week. In tournaments, you could stack 2 running backs together. I wouldn't recommend that for a price of 1. Like 1 high running back, you stack 2. And just hope for your 35 points. I wouldn't say Drake and Williams would do that this week. Maybe there you go, the Cleveland running backs with Duke and that other idiot on there. And the Titans, Henry and Murray, they could be a pretty decent stack. They're a little pricey of a stack if you want to stack them into 1, but you could go that way in tournaments. I have a couple lineups like that. And let's move on. to wideouts. Receivers, can't go wrong with AJ. He's a little pricey, but if I'm paying up this high, I'm going Julio Jones. I'm not even going to talk about him that much. It's just like you're waiting for him to break out. He doesn't have his one touchdown all year. He's getting a lot of red zone targets, and you're just like, this matchup is the best matchup he's had all year, and he's a great player. So I just think he's going to break out. I mean, people have been saying that every single week. I just have a good feeling this week that this is the week that he gets a lot of fantasy points. I'm not going to put no stat projections out there, but I think his ceiling, his floor is pretty safe. I mean, he's probably going to get, I would say, 6 for 65 on a bad day. And at that price, it's like, why not just throw him in there? Let's say Cooks. I love Cooks this week. You throw Cooks in there. I'm not in this particular lineup, but I like Cooks. Baldwin, if you're stacking with Russ, that's good. Baldwin, oh my God, he's a second half player too. If you look at seasons prior, and Russell and Baldwin, they pick it up in the second half. Ty is sneaky. Ty is also expensively sneaky. I would be staying away from Ty. That's just my unwritten rule. I don't start T.Y. Hilton. I will never start T.Y. Hilton. I don't care. But he'll probably get like 30 points against me in like all my leagues, but I won't be starting him. So if you guys like Ty, start Ty. He has a decent matchup, but I will not start him. Jarvis Landry's interesting because he's always solid. I think he's 5 catches every. Let me look at it. He has 6, 5, 6, 5, 7, 8, 5, 6, 13. Jesus Christ. I mean, at that price, you can't go wrong with him. I think he takes a little bit of a hit that Cutler's not playing. And Matt Moore blows Kenny Stills, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I like Landry. Jeffrey will be good this week. I feel like they force feed him against his old team. Funches is interesting. I mean, you figure they try to get Caffrey the ball. They try to get maybe Greg Olsen plays a little bit, but other than that, it's like Devin Funches is gonna get a nice workload. I don't like Devontae. I hate the Patriots. Anybody on the Patriots fantasy related, it's just like you roll the dice. I like Larry. It's tricky because of that matchup, but I feel like if you're gonna hurt the Jaguars, you're gonna do it from the slot. So I'm not too. I think Larry's gonna get some points this week. Sanu's got an awesome matchup at that price, but he's kind of showed a ceiling of like 14 points. But if you get that at 52, it's solid. You see Calvin out. Cooper Kupp could play good this week. I mean, with what's his name? Woods out. Corey Davis. It's kind of like the Josh Doxson effect. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting. This could be the week, man. This could be the week. This guy right here, my man, Kenny Stills. Now, Kenny Stills with Matt Moore. I don't know if they were like long lost brothers. I don't know if their life before this they were best friends, but they love each other, and I love it. I'm gonna ride the wave till the wave's not there anymore. Kenny Stills at 48. It's cheap as hell. You can stick them in there with your studs. You know, it works for me. Skip down here, tight ends. Show you some tight ends away really quick. I'm running out of time here. Kelsey, you can't go wrong. Gronk, you can't go wrong, but I like to pay down. If you're paying up, you target those two guys. Jimmy is pretty good value if you're playing Russ, if you want to stack them. But this week I'm in love with these three right here, Walker, Olsen, and Cook. And even Doyle, you could throw Doyle in there. Doyle's got a good matchup. I have some lineups where I'm stacking Delaney and Doyle. That's from the same game. That's going to be a high-scoring game. I like Greg Olsen on the fear fact that, like, of his history. I mean, Cam loves him. Cam can't wait to get him back. He's going to get him back. They're going to play him situationally, but that situationally, I feel like, is going to get him in the end zone. They just love him. He's a big target. Cam loves him. Every time he's in the game, Cam's going to look at him. as he goes through his progressions. You know that. So Olsen's kind of sneaky here. Cook is just like, he's a beast. You just see him play. He's got a good matchup. I'm gonna be throwing Walker in there. Now it's tricky with Walker because he hasn't scored ever. He scored one. What is that? That's a rushing, right? That's like week 2. He scored a rushing touchdown next to Jaguars. It's funny, but you see his floor is around 12 points. He's a PPR monster, which obviously Draftkings, you like that. And it's like you have a good matchup. You have that floor of 12, 13 points, and if he finally scores, which he dropped a touchdown last week, you're looking at a 20-point game for 5K. I don't know how you don't start Walker. I mean, I'm in love with Walker. He's cheap. I'm throwing him in there. Let's look at your defenses. Obviously, the Jaguars, if you could fit them in, why not? They have like so many 20-point games. It's retarded not to try to fit them in. The Bengals are going to eat up Cleveland. Kaiser's obviously going to make mistakes. See, when I pick defenses, I generally look at like the quarterbacks they're playing. They're mistake prone. Who's gonna make mistakes? Like just to be sure, you kind of like eliminate the bad horses from the good horses. Like obviously, I'm not touching anyone down here. Like especially like if you're getting 20 points from your defense. I don't really like that Seahawks defense as high as they're ranked. They have a decent matchup, but I'm not touching them. I like the Eagles a lot. I'm probably gonna pick the Eagles. I just feel like they're an all-around good team. You see that the 20 points against Dallas. They had the 20 points against San Fran. You see the 22 against Washington early in the year. They have a decent amount of sacks. They get after the quarterback, and I just see Chicago's QB with Trubinsky. He's going to make some mistakes. They could stop the run with Jordan Howard, and then it's just going to be on Trubinsky to make some plays in this game, and I like him to make some mistakes against this Eagles team. I think they win the game running the ball and playing defense. I don't think Wentz is going to have to do too much in this game. So we're going to throw them in there. And you see he got 4-2 for the split. Like I talked about him earlier. What's his name? There he is. 3-7. I like him a lot this week, as I talked about him earlier. And that last spot at receiver is someone who I talked about. I mean, you could go any way here. I mean, I'm probably going to mix and match to make the salaries add up. But, who did I have in my other lineup? This is awfully weird. Oh, no. Well, that's why the salaries don't add up. I had, what's his name? Dawson. Yeah, he was priced at 4.7. He slid in there perfectly. But if I'm building this around here, I'm probably going to mix and match a little bit. But you get the gist of the idea. You know, if you're looking around this mark, if you do go with a lineup like this, like I talked about Corey Davis, you're going to be paying down for a defense. Maybe you could fit Arizona in there if you go with Corey. That's not a bad option. I mean, Marquise Lee it's interesting with this man. I mean, he was questionable earlier on. See, he's not. It says he's not in the injury report. He's been good this year, man. I mean, at that price, it's like you see his upside. One person I didn't talk about, it just reminded me, is this gentleman, D.D. Westbrook. No relation to Russell Westbrook, but he plays like it, man. He plays angry. He's cocky. It's his first game of the year last week. They got him 6 targets, 3 catches on 35 yards. They like this kid, man. he's good. If you watch the preseason, he lit it up. He's a sleeper. You could throw him in there in a couple leagues. Yeah, I mean, just to cap this lineup off and end the video, I'm gonna throw in there. I'm gonna throw Lee in there, and then that gives you your 3-8, which would want you to play the Seahawks. But like I said, I like the Eagles this week. And there you have it. If you want to help me out, like the video, subscribe to the video. I do these every week. And have any questions or anything, advice, put it in the comments. I'll get back to you. And thank you for watching if you watched it. And I'll be with another video next week. Alright, peace to love. Good luck. Let me know how this video helped you win some money, if it helped you win some money, and let me know.